I want to quickly talk about what is ideal coloring for men. And before I get into the studies, I want to show you visual examples of what the scientific data says it's ideal. So one example I want to give is Alain Delon, which was a French actor. He had caramel skin. He looks extremely dimorphic and he looks extremely healthy. And this is an amazing example of what ideal coloring is. Another example is Jorge del Rio, which is a Spanish model. And again, I believe this is a good example of ideal coloring. It is caramel skin around Fitzpatrick's type 3, which is, in my opinion, what's ideal. I think the best skin tones are Fitzpatrick's type 2 and type 3. Type 3 being the most ideal, in my opinion, and the one with the most sex appeal. And this one is type 3 because he is Mediterranean. He has the skin tone looks pretty dimorphic, it looks pretty healthy. And yeah, with that being said, I want to show you the studies. So in this study, they told people to manipulate the coloring of photos to make them more attractive to them. They manipulated lightness, redness, and yellowness. And what they found was increasing redness increases attractiveness. Increasing yellowness also increases attractiveness. And increasing lightness also increases attractiveness for the people in the study. The people in the study preferred faces with more redness, so more blood flow, which is a sign of good heart health, probably. The people chose more yellowness, which is a sign of health, and they're not only more protected when it comes to free radicals, but also they're more photoprotected. And also the people preferred faces that were lighter, so with less melanin, which is a DBW in itself. So again, increased redness was preferred, as opposed to less redness. Increased yellowness was preferred, and also increased lightness was preferred. So I guess ideally you would have more yellow tones, more red tones, and you would have low melanin in general. In another study, they concluded that people that ate more fruits and vegetables, they had healthier looking skin, again reinforcing the association between good health and better looks. In another study, pretty much the same conclusion. Eating more fruits and vegetables resulted in more red tones and also more yellow tones, which are perceived to be more attractive. In another study, here they mentioned 3 different studies, and the conclusion was there's a link between skin carotenoid coloration and both perceived health and healthy diet. And it even says that the coloration from carotenoids is perceived as more attractive than the coloration from melanin. In this study, they analyzed the cross-cultural effects of fruit and vegetable intake on skin color, and so what they were looking at is increased redness and increased yellowness, and it did show that people with more of those colors became more attractive. Here it's with less red tones and yellow tones, and here it's with more and they look healthier and more attractive. This is also the same for African faces. The more orange glow they have, the healthier they look, and this is also true for Asian faces. So this seems to be the same cross-culturally. And finally, there's another study that I want to talk about. In this one, they essentially analyzed carotenoids in food form and also in supplement form, and then compared it to placebo, which was an olive oil with low antioxidant content. And so they used kale, and what they found was kale does increase the carotenoids and the lutein content in your skin, but they used beta-carotene supplements and also lutein supplements, and they didn't work. They even used it as a placebo in this graph. So it does seem that foods that are either dark green or bright orange, they seem to be better at increasing the carotenoids and lutein content in your skin than even lutein and beta-carotene supplements. But yeah, in conclusion, this kind of skin tone, which has red undertones and has a golden glow, it looks healthier and more attractive than other skin tones. This is especially true for Mediterraneans. They tend to have the healthier looking skin tone, but I would say that people with Fitzpatrick's type 2 skin are the second best. But then again, it depends on redness, which signifies good heart health and good blood flow, and it depends on carotenoid content. It also depends on tanning. Some ethnicities like Mediterraneans, they look better when they tan, and some others, for example, people with Fitzpatrick type 5 or 6, they may actually look worse when they tan. And it has to do with the undertones in the skin. But yeah, you can manipulate it through consumption of foods that are high in carotenoid content. But the biggest factor is just ethnicity. But with that being said, thanks for watching.